Jerry, if you'd like to keep your job, you're going to have to not listen to anything she
You
says.
to export every cancelable thing that she says on a secret folder, email it to me.
Same with her. Same with her. Hey, trashlings. Welcome back to the Demon Trash Podcast. It's me, your boy, Carol, a.k.a.
Pee-pee trash.
Trash. PP Trash.
You should get like one of
It's
those.
Papa.
You should do one of those like peepaw. I'm peepaw trash.
I'm Peepaw Trash.
And it's me, Avery, aka Baby Demon.
Little baby. Little baby demon. Baby.
Everyone's like, please stop.
Enough. They've turned it off. Hey guys, what's up? How you doing? Welcome back. What are we gonna talk about today? I don't know.
We're here.
My feelings.
Another one. We're gonna talk about
Feelings and how I'm feeling like
yeah, we're just gonna burden you with all of our problems. Stay tuned.
vent about like
No,
how hard it is.
we have there's a really like big online debate going on that we want to weigh in on. And then also like there's some Bridgerton stuff that we need to discuss now that we've had time to sit down and process it.
Yeah.
I think our Bridgerton like episodes like reacts are still coming out on YouTube, but we've watched them all. So
Yeah.
we've had some time to think about it and reflect and see some of the online discourse, and we have to weigh in on that as well because our opinion is very important and valid.
Incredibly important. I mean, the Bridgerton community online is waiting on bated breath for what Demon Trash will say.
So let's get to it.
Yeah.
But first,
1, 2, 3. Demon Trash moments. What did you do, you little goblin goober? What'd you do? Do you want me to go first?
whatever. You
Okay.
go first because I feel like I've been going first all the time.
Okay, so actually my Demon Trash moment, it's been going on for like the past couple of days, but it came to a head this morning because so I'm back on Dramini. I'm back on Archive of Our Own.
Back on that hot girl shit.
I'm back on that hot girl shit. I am reading the very concerning Dramini fics that everyone really loves. That are dark, bleak, but fun.
Oh, so romantic.
But also so romantic. Yeah, I'm reading it's very popular if you're into Dramini fics. I'm reading The Auction. And so, but you know, fan fictions, they're not like your standard text. They're about 300K plus 1,000 words. So
I mean,
that's like, guys, if you don't know, like that's like a lot. That's like 2.5 like tomes of fantasy.
Yeah,
book.
I don't know about you, but when it like with me and fan fiction, I need to have I'm be setting the 100K minimum. Do you know what I mean? Oh yeah, just because it's just so hard to find like good like I don't want to just be scrolling through a new like fan fiction every day.
This one trusting it because it's so like popular.
Yeah. No, I want to get invested in a story and I want it like to be good.
Yeah.
And I just want to stay with it. Do you know what I mean?
And also I like that it's a completed work.
Oh yeah, it needs to be a completed work.
People swear by it, so I was like, okay, I'm going into this. Like that's also for me, word count, pages on my phone. I read it on my phone or my iPad because I have it downloaded in my books app. Let's see, how many pages does this say in my phone books app? I'm on chapter 26. I'm at 1,008 pages out of 1,903. So
you have like another 900 pages.
Yeah, so, and I've been reading this since yesterday and the day before. So I've been reading it for like 2 days.
She's been putting in the work.
I've been putting in the time, the effort. And anyway, so that's what I've been doing. And so it's like, if I'm not working or, you know, doing something, I've been having my phone or my iPad in front of me reading fan fiction and nothing else. Everything else is dead to me. Okay, I'm in a bubble of hyperfixation. And this morning, I woke up and my lovely partner, he usually brings me coffee in bed to wake me up because, you know, when I wake up, it's like instant pain. And he's the only one who gets it. He's the only one who gets that I'm a sensitive little dove that needs to be treated like a little baby princess in the morning, getting my coffee brought to me in bed. Okay? And he does that for me. But so here's the thing though, is like last night, this is the last thing he sees, me ignoring him and falling asleep with my phone in my hands, reading fan fiction. First thing he sees when he walks in the bedroom to give me my coffee is me sitting up in bed reading fan fiction on my phone. And he puts down the coffee and he goes, "What? What are you doing? What is that? What are you doing? What are you doing on your phone?" He got like upset.
Yeah.
And I was like, "What do you mean?" He goes, what have I lost you to? You've been ignoring me for like 2 days. You fell asleep. Like you literally were like falling asleep, holding your phone in your hands. Now you're back on your phone. Anytime you have like, we were supposed to be like watching TV together last night, and I was definitely behind him on the couch, just like reading fan fiction. And I was just like, "It's a fan fiction." And he was just like, like he was just like, "Well, is it almost done?" I was like, "I'm like maybe halfway through." And he got really upset about it. But he's like he's like, "It's fine. Just get through it.
I'll see you in 3 more days, I guess."
Yeah, he's like, "Well,"
he knows the situation already.
Yeah, he knew as soon as I went, "It's a fan fiction," and he goes, "Oh, okay. Let me guess, it's Draco and Hermione." And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Oh, okay. It's probably like really fucked up." And I was like, "Kinda." and I was just like, "Let me live, dude." And he was like, but it's just funny to like have the person like closest to me in my life be like, "What are you doing?" Losing myself into fiction written by somebody else. About fiction.
Fanfic. Go to sleep, fanfic. Wake up, more fanfic.
Well, you know what that's like when you're hyperfixating on a fic.
Oh yeah, like, or if you like start a book like at night and then you're like, you like go to sleep, but then you wake up and you're like, "I gotta just finish this book. This is all I can think about."
He was really like blown away. He was like, "I can't believe you like you fell asleep reading to get up and immediately just start reading." And I'm like, "Yeah, bro, because I'm on my hot girl shit. I'm on my hot girl shit." And things are starting to get steamy. We're getting into the later chapters. Things are starting to progress in that slow burn. So I'm locked in, homie. I'm locked in. Don't bother me. Give me my coffee, and why don't you just respect my time and peace?
I have a bad thing about like romance, like novels, or like just spicy novels. Is when I start them at night, I can't go to sleep until like they've at least happens, like kissed or something happens. So like I end up reading like 3/4 of the book and staying up until like 4 a.m. Like it's not healthy. It's not healthy at all.
So I just read Not in Love by Allie Hazelwood, and I'm letting you borrow it. Good news. They get into it pretty quickly. So you won't have to they don't play around. She doesn't yank your chain until 75% in. But so that's my demon trash moment. Basically like
Classic.
My boyfriend tried to have an intervention with me about fan fiction. I said, "Kick rocks."
Classic, dude.
Yeah, classic. So classic. It's like honestly killing me. I haven't been able to read all day.
I know. You're like, "Can we wrap this up?" And you're just giving me the signal, like, let's go.
Let's get it moving. Let's go.
All right, so I'll go to my demon trash moment then. So my demon trash moment, I was sitting on the couch one day scrolling, hot girl shit.
Doom scrolling
on TikTok.
Hot girl shit. Fan fiction. Doom scrolling.
TikTok max inputting, maxing out my screen time.
Yeah.
Anyways, so scrolling, just so hyper focused on my phone and scrolling. As I'm scrolling, I noticed that like my vision is starting to get black.
Huh?
My vision was starting to like go black, and then I like felt really lightheaded all of a sudden.
What?
And then I like I lean back, and honestly I was like, I think I'm gonna die, because I was like, I've never like passed out before or like had any fainted or anything like that. So I was like, my vision's going black. I think I'm going blind or something. I didn't know what was happening.
Whoa, what?
while I was scrolling, like I was so hunched over and so hyper focused, I forgot to breathe. Like I wasn't breathing. So I almost passed out.
Similar thing happened to me because I didn't breathe while I was scrolling. Similar thing happened to me recently, but it's not almost passing out. It's way worse.
What was it?
I thought I shit myself.
I shit myself. How did you think you shit yourself?
I was scrolling on TikTok, and then my tummy was being, I've been having these Ollie Pops, and they're so goddamn delicious. So I'm about to be farting up a storm on this podcast, dude. I'm just kidding. I'm really working on my gut. I'm really working on it. But no, I've been the other day I had a little bit of tummy time because I realized I'm having too much protein. Like too much protein stuff, like protein things. They can kind of fuck with your tummy a little bit. So I was dealing with that. And I was scrolling through TikTok. I came across something really funny, and then I thought I did a stinky in my
I don't know why that undies. That's worse.
Yeah, and then I really thought I really thought it happened.
Time to get the Depends. Dude.
Well, I was like 31 scrolling TikTok, shitting myself. This was written in the stars for me. This is a self-fulfilling prophecy.
31 scrolling TikTok, posture hunched, horrible, passing out because not breathing.
That's so funny though. Like I was like, what was happening?
The funny thing, I was like, just accepted it. Like, I think my brother was like on the couch, like opposite me. I like looked at him, just like, I don't know what's going. Like, I didn't even say anything. I was like, I'm dying. Like,
when the brain rot's so strong, you nearly pass out or shit yourself.
Hot girl shit.
Yeah, and that's the thing though, is like brain rot. I was actually recently just watching Brittany Broski put up a YouTube video where she like goes over her she tier ranks brain rot, her favorite brain rot, and it's so correct. She's very correct because she said brain rot. I want to be drooling when I'm on my phone. I need to be like catatonic, bitch.
That's what happened to me. I almost died.
It's my moment of peace.
Yeah.
What were you watching? You were just scrolling.
I can't tell you like what it was. I mean, I almost passed out. I was dying.
I feel like sometimes there's also the brain rot of doom scrolling where you don't even. I don't think your brain's even registering.
Like, no, I was just scrolling, just like not breathing. I was like about to start breathing, but it's just like like you get in that time because I think it's because I was hunched. I don't know, but I was like so like transfixed on just trying to like get dopamine in my system with TikTok. Just because it might be gone soon. Like stop messing around. I need to max out on how much brain rotting I can
actually like depress you.
Pretty scary. I mean, I haven't been like as heavy of a TikTok user in the past few months just because I have no self-control. So it's like either I'm on TikTok or I'm off TikTok. But when I get on it, I mean, I enjoy it, clearly.
I love TikTok. I do.
I love it. I'm going to miss it if it's gone. Oh my God, because I've been spending a lot of time on Reels lately because I come across stuff on Reels that like makes me like so depressed. Like,
oh, also like content that I'm like, I saw this like 2 summers ago.
Yeah, it's either old content or just like honestly just like kind of like messed up stuff that there's like
what are you seeing?
Just like I don't know, just like kind of like Facebook-esque vibes where it's like, oh, look at this person like breaking into someone's car, or like,
whoa,
you know what I mean? Or just like crimes. It's just like Facebook or meta coded, I guess.
Well, that algorithm's got to make us all mad at each other.
I hate that algorithm because I can always tell when it's starting to take a turn too. It like starts off kind of like, okay, whatever,
totally
cheerful, and then all of a sudden you're just like, that sucks. I feel this sucks. This world is like so dark and twisted, and then I'm like, oh, I just need
to get mad about it and post a Facebook status
and just be like, the world's going to shit. And then I just realized I just need to get off of Reels because Reels is like the algorithm just like for some reason just becomes like so dark.
I agree.
After a while,
only fun for a little bit.
Yeah.
So I only spend a little bit of time on Reels before it gets into that kind of shit. Or like for some reason it'll start putting like really right wing shit. Like, and I just am still like blown away at the fact that like our government was like, you can't have that social media. I was like, that seems a little like against the Constitution. Dude, you know what? I go on TikTok to watch simulated fights like the Romans versus like
They're blocking my freedom of speech.
no, they're blocking my freedom of speech. And imagine if our forefathers saw that I could watch a simulation of raptors versus the Roman Empire and who's going to win that. You know, George Washington would literally come out of his wooden dick if he saw that. He'd be so proud of how far we've come.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just not right.
And I've always said that.
And I've always said that. I've always said that. He would be so proud. But alas, they're taking it from us. But what else is new?
What else is new?
They're taking our fun. They're taking our fun. Just like he grew hemp and he was like, this is meant for America. And they're trying to take that shit away too. They took it. They sure did. What?
Demon Trash moments, everyone.
That was it.
We did it. We did it.
Yeah, were we terrible and awful in every way? Yeah. I know some of you guys have demon trash moments. You guys can send them in and put them on the show. You know what? Fuck it. I'll read one off.
My favorite thing ever lately is to just text you and be like, hey, Diva.
Me?
Yes. Did you notice that? I go, hey, Diva.
Do you really?
Yeah.
No, I haven't
like,
noticed.
Hey, Queen.
Oh my God. Yeah, I did. I have, but I'm like, it doesn't even register.
Yeah, I know, because you don't like actually
I don't
process
I don't
any of my
process anything.
TikToks. I think I have to like maybe like
on
format
TikTok.
it.
On TikTok. I thought you meant text message.
No, text.
Hold on. I have to go. Hold on.
I stopped doing it like I think this week, but like a few weeks
Continue
ago I
doing
was
it.
just being like,
Continue doing
hey,
it.
Queen. Why? You don't read it.
That's fucked up, and I do. Okay, here's one from LJ Superfly. My ongoing demon trash moment. No matter how busy I am with life, I'm always on Discord and Fable a little too much. I even turned off the notifications. It didn't help. But also love the fandom and community. You know what? That's fine. I get it though.
We be chatting.
We be
Be
chatting.
yapping online.
Yeah, if you guys didn't know, we have a Fable TV club, and I love it over there. I really love Fable. I've created my own account so that I can track all my reading.
It's just fun to be on a platform where people are like
Talking about the things you like,
and respectful.
and like very sweet and nice.
And for the most part, just like, you know, book girlies, like TV show girlies who just like have a good time and
Yeah,
like,
it's
discuss
really
things.
if you want a place to like talk about books and TV shows and basically just be excited about all the things that we typically love over here, like I highly recommend Fable because it is not negative vibes over there at all.
Mhm.
Like, and they also have a pretty good algorithm because it's like whatever you're reading or show interest in, they'll put the people who are also reading
Yeah.
or like watching what you're into, so you can like meet people online and make
Yeah,
friends and
like,
or join
interested.
clubs and talk with people who are just as excited to talk about the thing that you're excited to talk about. So I really like it. So we do have a TV club over there if you guys want to join. It's really fun. Right now we're watching Bridgerton, and then we'll switch it up to whatever next. I think maybe House of Dragon or something. I don't know. We'll ask them over there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just so you guys know, if you guys want to do that and talk about the things that we're watching. Okay, on to the rest of the
Okay, let's go.
Okay, let's go to the rest of the show.
Okay, so we're kind of late to the party with this one.
Yeah.
There's been this ongoing debate, or there was this study that came out interviewing women and asked them, would you
Like a real study or just
I'm
like a
pretty sure-
social study?
I don't know. That would require one to do research, and I just see something online and I want to talk about it.
Media literacy. We don't
um,
have it.
No. But essentially, everyone was talking about this. I don't know if it was a study or just a survey, but women were surveyed and asked, would you rather be stuck in the woods with a bear or a man?
Mm-hmm.
And a majority of women chose the bear.
Right. And recently, because this has been in the zeitgeist, there has been discourse around this. I was watching, my partner watches the Steak and Eggs podcast, which is with has Twitch streamers, Asmon Gold, whatever. Anyway, they were talking about this and they were like, they were basically like, any woman who said that she would rather be with a bear is actually fucking stupid.
And then you wonder why women choose the bear.
But here's the thing, though, is because, like, for me, I'm very gray area. I've got a lot of gray matter in my brain, so I like to explore nuance. My thing is like, okay, what are we talking here? Is it a grizzly during salmon migration season? Where am I? Am I in North Carolina? Are they black bears? Is it a mother with her cubs? You know, there's things here.
Yeah.
But if it's just like a standard bear, because like not all bears are big. I've seen some bears.
I'm gonna say like
I've been real close to bears.
I just think
out
we
in
have
the
to go
wild.
like straight, because it's like, okay, but then what kind of man am I with? Am I with like, you know what I mean? Like we can't be too specific. Would it be a man or would it be a bear, a wild animal? Do you know what I mean? Like I don't think we get into too specifics, because I think that defeats the point. Because it's like, well, if it's a man, but what if it's a nice guy? Like,
okay, well then
do you know
here's
what I mean?
the thing, because at the end of the day, like I'm not saying like there's always the chance, right? But if you make yourself really big and yell, you can pretty much scare off a grizzly too.
Yeah, like here's what I'm thinking. Like for me at first I was like, no, you know what? I feel like I go man because I'd be like, well, maybe we could help each other survive, but then I'm like also like, who is this man? Is he going to listen to me? Is he going to do what I say? Is he like going to respect my space?
No, to any man who to the idea that, and here's my thing, and I'm really not trying to be black-pilled, but the thing is like anybody who's just like, if you choose bear, you're actually fucking stupid. That's an idea coming from a man who's never been in the position of being a woman growing up in this world where you were constantly at threat. Do you know how many times my actual life has been in danger because men were menning?
Mm-hmm.
I have been in some horrible situations and experienced horrible things because they were just men.
I know. But then in my Delulu brain, I'm just like, but what if we like maybe we started off as enemies and then we become lovers? But that's Delulu crazy.
I could fix him.
I
don't know. It's like, because like
part of me also thinks I might be able to kill a man, but I think at the end of the day, like I feel like
it's like a survival situation. It's not like we're walking on the trail.
Like in my mind, like we're stuck on like an island forest vibes, like in Alaska, or like, do you know what I mean? Like this is like no one's coming to save us, right? I had to go to survive. So
yeah, I don't know, man, because it's like at first I think I'd be relieved. I'd be like, another person. Oh my God.
Yeah.
But then, you know,
like
shit could get crazy, because when people start to get hungry,
like,
you know what I
mean? Is this guy cool? Can I trust him? I don't know.
But
here's the thing: what I know about bears, right? They're wild animals,
right?
I know a bear's nature. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
a man's nature, I don't know.
Unpredictable.
But the bear, it's like, okay, I could build like a fence to try, like spikes to keep the bear away from my tent.
There's a bear here.
I can get big. Away from the
bear. I can get big. I can make noise.
You know what I mean?
I can make weapons or whatever.
Like,
and I'll just try to stay away from the bear, because if I try to stay away from the bear's going to try and stay away from me.
You know,
and that's on period, dude. Bears most likely, they're not like, they do kill people, but like, and they can fuck you up. But I would say, like, for the most part, like, it depends on the bear. It depends on the bear. It depends on the
bear. Is it a grizzly bear? Is it a black bear? Is it a koala bear? Is it housing the bear in bear form?
Yeah. Is it bear in the big blue house? You know, there's nuance.
There's a lot of different types of bears, but at the end of the day, I know a bear is going to act like a bear.
And a man, I don't know what he's gonna act like. They come in
know
all
what
shapes, sizes, and psyches. Okay,
and you know, and if it's just me and him surviving, like I can't trust him. Limited resources,
dude. My own boyfriend was like, no, I would not want to find another man.
Because even with a bear, it's like, okay, you know, I know how bears work for the most part. Like, get big or whatever.
And you know
just
what?
Stay away from the bear.
If I get killed by a bear, that's on me, dog, and that's Darwinism.
You know, I don't want to sound like a femcel, I guess, but it's like, instead of like men calling like women stupid for choosing the bear, like why don't we just like take time to reflect
on why
and process why would women choose the bear over a man? Like,
because here's the thing. This is my thing about
maybe we're
men.
doing something wrong.
Thank you for saying that. You're actually fucking dumb if you choose a bear. You're actually fucking stupid. And the thing is like, I would love to believe that everybody is wonderful and great. That all men are wonderful and great, but they're not. The statistics are on my side. Okay? The statistics are on my side.
The real question is, what experiences that women are having with men that would make them choose the bear? Let's question that. How about that?
Interesting.
Society, men.
Like, and listen, whenever, because men also, they don't like it whenever you generalize, because they think that we're being like isolating them and pointing the finger and like, you're bad. It's like, no, I'm saying the lot of you, the lot of you, and you as an individual need to understand that maybe something has happened in that woman's life where a man was more threatening to her than a bear.
Yeah.
Hello.
And that should be pretty upsetting.
And we should really
think about that.
But yeah, I mean, like if you were to ask me point blank, like just like man or bear, you're in a survival situation, I'm choosing the bear, dude. I have to share space with a bear. I think I could figure it out.
What if you like got your pick, what kind of bear would you choose?
I think a black bear.
Black bear?
Because they're smaller. They're smaller. I mean, I've seen lots of black bears. They, we have them here in the country. But like, some bears, like whenever we were up in Big Bend, I saw a little brown bear and he did not give a fuck about us. He was looking for water. And he was small. He was like, my brother's dog, Gunner.
Yeah.
He was like that size.
Yeah.
So it's like, I just let him be. We just let him be. He was looking for water, and I was just looking at him because he was cute. But I knew not to bother him. And black bears, I've seen black bears, and black bears are not very big. So if you make yourself bigger than that bear and get loud, but like obviously, like if we're talking grizzly, like that's okay. Now we're talking like serious.
Yeah.
Like that's a serious thing. But it's like, I don't know. I feel like I'd rather encounter a grizzly than a strange man in the woods. I mean, I'm sorry. Shoot me dead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I just genuinely, like in my heart of hearts, I can't sit here and tell you like I would choose the man. I would have to see him first. You'd have to put him in a lineup and be like, which one would you choose? And I have to look at that man in the eyes.
Yeah.
But I don't have that option here. So I have to go in blind. I could get a sweet man who wants to help. But I could also get a fucking psycho. Or somebody who gets progressively more psycho.
Yeah. I'm choosing house and bear form.
Oh, we can choose. There's fantasy involved?
No, I'm just making a joke.
Oh, house and bear form.
Yeah, house and bear form.
Hey, ¿por qué no los dos?
I feel like we can reach a happy medium here.
Yeah, the bear or man. Let's take them both, bitch.
Druid.
Yeah, is he a druid?
I'm thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
No,
like other bitches can't handle that.
I'm gonna choose a panda bear.
Oh, they
because in a bamboo forest. There you go.
They actually are. They're actually territorial as fuck.
I don't know. I've seen panda bears, and I feel like I could just like punch it, like
dude.
Like, and then if they kick my ass, like whatever.
Yeah, they can be extremely territorial, but like when they're babies, they're just dumb and so cute.
Like, I'm sorry, like I be seeing panda bears in
eat shit on a playground.
Yeah, like I'm not scared of that bear.
Shit on a jungle.
He can have his bamboo, and I'll figure my own shit out.
Yeah. Wild pandas in the bamboo area, they are super territorial, but that's the thing about animals. It's like let them have their space.
Exactly.
He can have one side of the island. I'll have the other.
We're good.
Tight.
And that's our...
And it's going to be on me. Like, I'm not going to put my food scraps. Maybe I'll take him to our border and feed him there.
Yeah.
We learned that with a raccoon, who we made sentient, by the way.
Suppose of your trash properly, people. Put your food in bear lockers if there's bears around.
Do not go to sleep with food or
respect
trash
nature.
out.
And nature will respect you.
Or make you its bitch.
Yeah.
So what's next? You said something to me earlier, and I really just want to just take a moment and
what?
And say like, you know, something. If you ever feel like the world's getting you down, like maybe people came at you and said some mean things.
Yeah.
You said, "Hey, not everybody's gonna match your freak."
No.
And that really stuck with me, dude. That really was actually like, I needed to hear that in that moment because I was like, that's so true, bestie. That's so true. Not everyone's going to match your freak, dude. And that's okay.
That's right.
And that's okay. She told me a really funny story that somebody did not match her freak, but it was fucking hilarious. And you know what? That's on him.
You know,
seems like a nice guy. Nice guy.
Obviously, I just have the best sense of humor of all time.
Please tell the story. It's so funny.
And not everyone gets it, you know.
I get it.
Carol always gets it, and that's why we're here sitting on a couch together, yapping. Anyway, so this weekend, I went away on a little vacay, and stayed at a friend's house with a pool, and had a little pool weekend. Soaked up the sun, as they say.
Very smash mouth of you.
Yeah. Is it?
Soaking up the sun. No, that's walking on the sun. I'm an idiot.
I thought it was like, I want to soak up the sun. Is that Sheryl Crow?
We're back. We're so back.
We're so back. Anyway, so I get to the pool first day. We just arrive. And
this is on the first day.
It was the first day.
Amazing.
You know, we arrive a little later than everyone after lunch. Haven't eaten yet. So I'm in the pool, getting settled in the pool. And the host of the party, he comes up to me and he's like, what do you guys want to eat? Like, do you need anything to eat? Or do you need anything? And I already eaten. So I was like, I didn't want anything. But I did say to them, because I'm lounging in the pool as one does, like, floating, like squatting down the pool, you know. And there,
did you have goggles on?
No, I did not have goggles on.
God damn it!
I think I was in a float or something. I don't know.
In this, while I was hearing the story for the first time, you had goggles on, like the little one.
Whatever. I can have goggles on if you want. If that makes it funny for you,
it makes more jovial.
But I'm lounging in the pool, like swimming, just my head's popping out, you know. And I say to him, while he's asking if I want anything to eat, and I go, I want you to, he's like, I want you to feed me bread like I'm a duck.
Yeah.
I said, throw bread at me like I'm a duck. And I just got the look of just like, what? Like, I just got the biggest, like,
total silence.
And then also, there was a bunch of people in the pool with me, and they were all like, they were just like, no reaction.
Dude, that's just so
dead.
funny to say.
Just dead. And like, I thought it was really funny because here he is above me asking if I want anything to eat, and I felt like a silly little duck. Like, throw me some bread. Throw me some bread at me and feed me like a duck.
And you
like,
said, and the people around that pool and the host, they did not match your freak in that moment.
They did not match my freak. And you know what? I've grown enough where I didn't have to sit in the corner for the rest of the trip and be like, oh my fucking, it's so embarrassing.
And overanalyze
it. You know, some jokes don't land. And I think I continue kind of doing jokes like that. Like,
I think the next
I don't think I was getting any reaction.
What? That's hilarious.
You know, he's my friend.
Throw food.
It's a super nice guy, but it was so funny. Like, you know, he was being a really good host. Like, blew up our air mattress, help us make the beds and stuff.
I'm not saying he's a shitty person.
No, it was so funny. Like, he's great, but it was like,
it's so funny that
he was being such a good host, and I was feeling like very well taken care of. So like one night I was like in bed after like we were all going to bed, and he's like, do you guys need anything else? And I go, can you read us a bedtime story? Because like it was all of us like in the living room, like on air mattresses, all like cozied up. I'm like,
no one
can you read us a bedtime story? I think I got a few chuckles at that one. He laughed a little bit at that one, but like I feel like it was funnier. Do you know what I mean?
Hey,
it's
man,
like silly, dude.
You can write it anonymously. Just say if you were sick of her shit or something. Like, I need to know. That's so funny.
But,
Throw bread at me like I'm a duck.
Throw bread at me.
I
want you to feed me like a duck.
I could see us being the two if we were both in that situation, just like eating a loaf in the pool, a crusty loaf in the pool. That's vibes, bro.
And then
Next time on a pool day, I'm gonna just come up and just toss at full force a French baguette.
all right, you don't have to do that. Like,
That'd
just
be funny though.
no, it'd be funnier if you like ripped it off and like threw it at me, like you know how you feed a duck. Like
Yeah,
feed
but
me like a duck. It's funny.
Yeah, but
I'm a human. That's funny. I'm not a duck. I'm a human. Throw bread at me. I'm not a duck. That's why it's funny.
that's the
dude.
joke.
That's the joke, dude. And I guess if you had to explain it, it's probably not
You
that
know what?
funny.
If what is that? Animorphs.
Mm-hmm.
Now, can somebody please Photoshop Avery into slowly progressing into a duck? That's your Animorphs, dude. Please, if anyone is out there,
Like, what do
I
they
am
need?
calling out to the ether.
What do
Little
you need?
goblins
Like,
and trashlings.
Don't they like stands?
No, yeah, like just make her into a duck.
Yeah, like slowly transform it into a duck. I'm not talented enough. But,
No, I have no idea how to do
you guys
that.
Go for it if
You
want.
Photoshop legends. That would be really great. If somebody does do that, you guys can email it to us, DM us, or pop it in our Discord.
Yeah, but sometimes it's demon trash. You know, not everyone's gonna match your freak,
And that's, yeah.
but that's okay because
What an important lesson.
I'll match my own freak.
You're right.
And I did explain that joke to another friend who was there, and they're like, "That was actually funny. I wish I was around for that." And I was
Yeah.
like, "Thank you,
Thank you.
thank you."
But we'll never know because she wasn't.
When I'm thinking about it, I think she was, but she might not have been. But like, she wasn't like in that because there's like there's
She's like,
different
no one
spheres.
laughed. That's
That's
crazy.
crazy. Hey, but she validated me when I felt like I need validation, so that's all that matters.
Yeah, for sure. And that's a good friend.
Yeah. Anyways,
Lie to me to make me feel better.
she, like when she heard it, she was like, "She's a fucking idiot."
I can't believe
You know
I
what?
brought this
That's fine because I think it's funny,
because I match my freak.
and you think it's funny. So maybe
I almost
10
crashed
more
the car.
people listen
I
to
thought it
this.
was so funny. Oh, and I farted too.
what? I was in the car with you. I didn't. hear
But we
that.
got out.
Uh,
We got out.
That's funny. Well, because earlier you were like, "I'm feeling down." I was
No,
like, Let me
I
tell
have.
you a silly little tale to lift your spirits," and I'm glad
Yeah.
it did because
No, it did.
that'd been bad if it like fell flat with you too.
What if I was like, dude, but you're not a duck?
That's just really weird. That's a weird
So
thing
you
to
asked
say.
the host to like make a mess of his pool?
Oh my god!
Oh my god.
Thank God you're not like that.
Attention, loyal subjects of the trashdom. This is a royal decree from your leaders, Papa Trash.
And Baby Demon.
Find us everywhere at Demon Trashcast. Like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. Rate and review us on the podcast platform of your choosing. Do so, or be eternally banished to the abyss.
Also, if you're here, you probably have some goblins and gremlins that will find a home in the trashdom, so share with your friends. And if you like what we do here and would like to support us, check out our Patreon for extra content and more. Signed.
Empress of Destruction!
No, how about your humble rulers
Papa Trash.
and Baby Demon?
Do it or else. All right, let's talk Bridgerton.
Yeah, give the people what they want.
Part 2. Was it everything and more? Well, okay, because last time we talked about part 1, and one of my biggest gripes was all the storylines.
Yeah.
But I felt like they closed them all pretty well. Because my overall take of how part 2 went down was I felt like it was the end of an era
Yeah.
for a lot of characters and storylines, and we're kind of going into this like new era, and that's how I feel about part 2, like overarchingly. But I really
Yeah.
loved it.
I think personally for me, I think part 2 like wasn't as good as part 1. I kind of have like same complaint about season 3 is that there were too many storylines and not enough Colin and Penelope. Like it was
Yeah.
like their season, but it didn't feel like it. There was so much like stuff going on. And I think at the there was like a few episodes. I haven't gotten around to like editing them all yet, but I don't know if it was like
and I need
7
to
or
rewatch them.
8. But like I think really specifically like a detail I can point out was like when they like kept randomly cutting to Benedict during the also like don't keep if you haven't finished Bridgerton yet, spoilers, stop listening to this.
Right.
But spoiler alert.
Oh, I know what you're
when they like
about.
kept cutting to him
That
like
was so weird.
right in the middle, like, and then also timeline wise it didn't make any sense.
No, it
like
didn't
it was
make
in
any
the
sense.
past. It was like, what is this?
That was weird. That was a weird editing choice. I remember that. I was like, I don't know. That just felt like
Personally online I'm seeing a lot more like hate than like of Bridgerton season 3, which I think, you know, I don't think it was horrible. I just don't think it was like it wasn't perfect by any means, and I don't need everything to be perfect, but I just felt like the later half of the season felt weaker than the first half in terms of like Penelope and Colin, because I felt like almost like they got together, right? They got married, and then like there was drama, but it didn't feel like their drama. But specifically more so Colin, I feel like they actually like kind of dropped the ball in his storyline.
Yeah.
Because to me, they never like really like in the first few episodes, right? I can like in part 1, everything was so subtle with him, but then they kept everything being super subtle. And like, I know everyone's like media literacy, but like sometimes you just need like characters to just be straight up with the audience, be like, this is what's going on with him.
Communicate a little
like
bit.
to communicate it more straightforwardly, because it's like, I'm not going to pick up on the nuance of everything in one like watch.
Well, okay, not to pull this card, but like, I think, I don't know, I can't recall, you'll have to tell me, but I feel like a lot with Colin. I feel like, because I tend to do that. I tend to miss things socially. Like it's hard for me to like read people sometimes. So like with Colin specifically, because he wasn't communicating, it was a lot of like sort of like subtle communication.
Yeah.
I really struggled to like understand him.
Because what
I just like I was like trying to figure out what his struggles were.
It's like, is he upset at Penelope? Is he feeling bad about himself? Like, is he not feeling like he's enough? And it was like kind of like not really you know, it wasn't cohesive in the way it was presented, because it was like a little bit of like everything, where he was like jealous of Penelope's success. I almost feel like it. He felt like kind of unworthy of her, but then he was also mad at her. So, and they never had a scene where he's like blah blah blah. Also, I think what helped in the first, like in Anthony's season, in season 2, like, I mean, we got all of his issues, and there were like scenes where it was like the flashbacks. I think season 3 would have really helped with some flashbacks of like Colin and Penelope together, like meeting like as kids, and like, it'd be hard to like get young actors and stuff for that, I guess, but probably not. Like, I feel like if they focused more on them, because like with Anthony, it's like we got flashbacks of his like with his dad, and like that was one of his main traumas. He had flashbacks with his mother, and like, and then he had scenes of him like confronting like Lady Bridgerton, and like, and her confronting him, vice versa. And then we also had scenes of like him with Daphne, and her being like, what's up, like, you know, and him being like, and then we could actually like get it. Do you know what I mean? Because
that's so true. I'm glad you brought that up, because Violet, she's always been like sort of the North Star for the character. She's sort of the stage character for her kids. So like, whenever we need to figure out where they stand on something, like, she's the person who comes in the final hours and really helps them break down their feelings.
Yeah.
And I felt like the conversation that she has with Colin,
like before the carriage scene, was really good, but she didn't pay any attention to him, I feel like, after that episode. Like, if you think about it, do you know what I mean?
I don't think they really had another.
They didn't have another thing, because Violet was focusing on Francesca. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she kind of like was all about her, and then also she had her own storyline with Marcus. And then, you know, I feel like where Eloise, who was like the one who would go talk to Colin, like every kind of thing was like not really about Colin. It was really just about herself, like in a way. Do you know what I mean? She kind of always would just like come in and kind of like she had her own shit going on too. So it was never felt like he could be like, you know, he was just trying whenever Eloise came along. He was just like, please be friends with Penn again. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't about like, hey, Colin, how are you feeling? What's going on? What are you doing there?
Yeah.
It was all very like, I don't know. I feel like I wish we focused a little bit more on Colin. And the one thing I do really wish they like Colin would have like had a line with like Penelope was like, I love you so much. I'm sorry I didn't see it sooner. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like that would have been just like so nice for me to like just to be like, I'm sorry I didn't.
I thought he said something like that.
I don't think so. Like it was really just about once they kissed or like once they started like doing this thing that he finally seen her. Like I don't ever feel like it felt like for me that like, oh, I realized I kind of like always loved you or something like that. But you know, I don't have the best memory with things, but at least in the first two, it was just like, oh, I love you now.
Oh yeah, because
you know I mean?
I think he does say something similar, but I think it's at like the wedding or something, or like in the like last episode or something.
I just feel like there should have been more like Penelope, and
I agree. I do feel that a little bit for sure.
Also, it was just like I
don't like because the thing is with this season 3 is I do feel like okay. I feel like the story was about it's Penelope and Colin's story, but at the end of the day, I also think like the main sort of goal with the season was sort of this like it was very like it was about healing and like finding yourself, and it's like I guess like in that way it's like okay, well are we choosing the romance or are we thinking about like the healing aspect for like all of these characters of like growth, because that's what it felt like most to me. I felt like the first like, part was mostly the romance, and then the second part was like a lot of like overcoming shit and with romance throughout it. I
don't know, I just think like there's just some characters like healing that I like just really did not
care about. Yeah.
Also like there was so much focus on Cressida in the later half, and I get she was kind of like the villain, but
right,
I don't know. Personally,
rest in peace, Cressida. You would have loved ChatGPT.
Rest in peace, Cressida. And like actually at the end of like the season, I felt bad for her. And I'm editing like 6 right now, and I really do feel bad for her because I don't know what she did to deserve like Eloise just like flipping a switch on her and being like, anyways, I don't have time for you anymore. Like for me, like that was like kind of a really big like, what the fuck, Eloise? Like I get it. She's not always been like your best friend or like friends with Penn, but I think it's just kind of cruel to befriend someone. And then as soon as like your life gets really hectic and stuff that you're just like, anyways, your problem now. And also,
I think it's also because Eloise knew what she was doing was bullshit.
Yeah, but I just think it's very strange for someone who's like all about, oh, women can be more than this and whatever, and then being like women shouldn't be trapped in marriage and stuff, and then seeing a friend essentially being led down that path unwanted, you know, not wanting that and being dragged down by this. She like abandons her when she's like kind of needed most, or like needs someone like help most. Like I understand Eloise is like, she wasn't gonna out Penn. She wasn't going to like do anything to really help Cressida, but just for her to just like completely dismiss her in like that aspect.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Saying, yeah. And then it gets worse because then her mom writes all that shit about the Bridgertons, and then it's like then
she becomes like, desperate, but it's like hard because it's like Cressida didn't stop her. So, you know, I have mixed feelings about Cressida, but she like became the nuanced character where it's like I see why she's doing it. Like she's trapped in a situation and she's crawling at the walls trying to find a fix. It's not a good one.
Yeah, I didn't really think about that. You're right.
It just really felt like for me, like Eloise kind of just was like, anyways, I ain't got time for this. Like as soon as like they got like Penn and Colin announced her engagement, she kind of just like left Cressida out to dry, which is kind of sad.
Happy Pride to Benedict.
Happy Pride. I don't have anything wrong with like the whole like threesome thing or him being bisexual or like him exploring his sexuality, but I just like don't understand like Benedict's storyline and the Mondriches, I really am just like, why are we paying so much attention with them? Because I'm like, I feel
love
like
how we thought that woman had like sinister plans.
what?
Remember we were like, she's trying to get an heir, and it's like,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
she's just lives a fucking like
just
she
a
wants,
hot girl
she
life.
Polyamory, dude.
She just wants she just wanted a threesome.
She wanted 2 boyfriends. She wanted 2 boyfriends.
And honestly, that's fine, but like it's not very interesting.
No, totally. But I'm wondering if it's like season 1 Anthony storyline with the opera singer.
Yeah.
It's like he needed
But then
to go
Benedict just leaves her ass because he's like, actually, like, I don't want anything serious.
Yeah, which is why I think like he's going to go through that situation so that the next season, which they haven't said, but a lot of people are like hoping it's Benedict's season.
I think it should be him because honestly, like if there's another season of him just like fucking around, like how can you just like, it's like with Colin, he has like 2 seasons of dirt. Like, do you know what I mean? Of like shit. Like with Benedict, it's like he has like 3. If he has another season, that would be like 3 or 4 seasons of him just like all doing all this stuff,
right?
That they have to like somehow tie together,
yeah,
to like actually be good. Because for me, it's like
no, it has to be his season because
he's just doing whatever he wants.
Like Eloise is going off to fucking Scotland for a year, and it's like Eloise and
is it for a year?
I think it's for the year. It's for a year.
Okay.
Pretty sure. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's a year. She's gonna do a year up in Scotland. But like Eloise and Benedict, you know, they sort of had that conversation back on the swings, which I love that scene, by the way, when they have that final scene together on the swings, because they would always meet up there and talk about how they're feeling lost in life and stuff. And it's like with Eloise leaving and like going to do her own thing, I'm hoping that like Benedict, it's sort of like a polar, you know, like the balance of these characters. Like Benedict is now trying to figure out his next steps.
Yeah. Or just like maybe someone will just like you've enchanted me kind of thing.
You've charmed me.
I've just like,
I'm like, who could wrangle Benedict? He's kind of wild. He's a sweetie though. He is baby girl. I'm curious to see what they're gonna do, because I have a feeling, this is my idea that I think is gonna happen, that they're gonna do a Benedict season for Bridgerton, and then they're gonna do a limited like Bridgerton, sort of like Queen Charlotte vibes, but with Francesca and Eloise and that group in Scotland. Or I don't even know, but like they'll probably just like, because she's gone for a year, and then they're like gonna be like Benedict's season, and the next season is like them returning.
Yeah.
But I feel like some shit's gonna go down in Scotland because of Francesca's interesting reaction to meeting John's cousin
Michaela. So what did you think about that? Because that's kind of like the last thing I wanted to talk about, like in terms of like the other storylines.
Well, it was the thing because you said it, and then I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense, because the whole focus on Francesca's like big thing talked about during her like storyline was that, you know, she and John have like a quiet, subtle kind of love, and it doesn't always have to be loud, and not loud, but like passionate, like a fiery thing, the way that Violet always talks about it, where it's like, you know, you feel that fire, that passion, I burn for you type shit, you know, like Daphne and Anthony and all that vibes. So, you know, in a way I was like, oh, cool, you know, because there are different kinds of passion, can come in all different shapes and forms, I guess. But then when she reacts like that, I was like, like that is kind of like been sort of a theme throughout Bridgerton. It's like that when you meet the person, you get all like flustered and hot and bothered and all of that. And so, which then I was like, hold on, wait a minute. Are they gonna go sapphic with Francesca? But like, she's married to John, so that's messy as shit. And I also, John Sterling, what a guy. I love that man. I love when he started hanging out with the guys, and he's just it's like, what a sweet, sweet man. I love him. I genuinely do. So I'm a little scared. I'm a little scared with John. I hope that I just don't know how that's gonna go down, because I have a feeling Francesca might have suddenly gotten a crush.
A passionate crush.
A passionate crush on
I think
Michaela.
That's what, like, so there's kind of like a lot of online discourse right now because I'm trying not to spoil it because it is a book spoiler.
And if you've been with us a while, Papa Trash don't like spoilers. I don't like
don't read the
spoilers, but
books.
I do want to hear about what the fuck's going on. So what?
So I'm trying to like maybe like not. I don't think I have to spoil it fully, but essentially, in terms of like the book, Michaela Sterling is supposed to be Michael Sterling, so they gender swapped a character.
Oh, okay, fun.
So, that's supposed like in the book that's a man,
Right.
but like that's not my issue. Like I'm fine if they want to explore like gay and queer love stories. Like
I don't give a shit.
In Bridgerton, I think that's great. Like I would love it.
Francesca being my autistic lesbian? Are you kidding?
Or like bisexual, like
yeah,
that's fine. I'd love to see it, but I just didn't like that they just like completely undermined the whole like plot of her like
meaning John,
of her and John, like that was going on the whole season, that was stealing like screen time away from Penelope and Colin, just to them to be like, oh wait, but actually you can have love at first sight, first connection.
So does she never marry John Sterling in the books?
They are married in the books.
Oh, okay, but there's a Michael Sterling.
There's a Michael Sterling, and I'm trying not to spoil it for you.
Okay, so
unless you like want to know.
Well, now I'm like, so does she leave John? I mean, you can't leave a marriage.
Yeah, you can't really like. I mean, you can get divorced, I guess, at that time, but it has to be like really like bad.
That's
to be
like
divorced.
Scandal.
But no, John Sterling like is a good man, and like in the books is like, I guess like, you know,
if you love,
she loved him. Do you know what I mean? But I just didn't like that they just kind of like completely undermined him, because like I loved his character and I loved them together. I thought they were like super sweet. So then just to be like, oh wait, she's like having this love at first sight moment with her, like his cousin or something like that, or like this interest at first sight, like I feel like it undermines that whole story.
Yeah, I would, because the thing is with me, well, I mean, at the same time I'm like, what is that? Because it's like, I think what they tried to do was like leave you with something like, what's that?
What's that about?
What's that?
Why did they need to do that?
You're right.
Why not just introduce a
way.
character like next season?
Well,
I
immediately felt bad for John.
Exactly.
I was like, well, this little bitch. I love
Poor
Francesca,
guy.
so I'm not gonna.
I don't blame her. This is writing. This is like,
yeah.
You know, this is like, I don't think it's not Francesca's choice if she sees someone, she's like, oh wait, they're kind of hot, because the writers wrote it like that. You know, I'm not like mad at
right.
I'm mad at the writing choice of this and like introducing this character like so soon after they get married. Like I feel like that's kind of weird.
That's kind of tragic. Well, because then you're also setting up like
something might happen to him, or like it's not going to work out or something like that. You're immediately like just destroying this plot line that you like just set up.
And you made me love them.
And like I
I
think it was interesting that they had like not Daphne, Daphne's clone, Francesca. Do you know what I mean? Like
they do look very similar.
Well, just like having like a Bridgerton girl like come out in the same season that it's like Colin's season. Like I feel like they didn't have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of like maybe like the main focus of Francesca's storyline, from what I'm understanding from the like little spoilers I've had from books, it makes sense. But I hated that they just like threw that like meeting in at the end. Like, why is his cousin there?
Yeah, I mean,
at like the very last 5 minutes of the season.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I thought, ooh, drama. Like, what's that about? What's that? So it didn't like bother me, but I did end up feeling like, wait a minute, but like, what about John? You know, but the thing is like, again, I didn't know. So if it's like, oh, Francesca and Michaela are going to end up together and John's like just forced to deal with it, like, I'm like, that's sad as shit. That's sad as fuck.
Well, it's like,
but then again, I don't know how it's going to end up. And we also don't know how it's going to end up because it's like, they could always change shit. I don't know.
Overall, I enjoyed the season. I do feel like I want to watch it like all the way through because I
Yeah.
think the break kind of just like disrupted
I did see that.
I
A lot
feel
of
like
people
this-
did say like
the flow of the story.
I did see a lot of people say that taking a break and then going into part 2, which we did.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not true. I mean, I rewatched a lot of the episodes before, but maybe it's like you got to rewatch them like straight through and then go into part 2. I don't know. I mean, I'm probably going to do that, but I don't know. I here's my thing is I generally don't have any very strong feelings about it. I do think that my very strong feelings about it are that I did like the healing aspect of it. It did feel very like
Yeah,
a lot of people grew.
that's
in-
definitely one of the strengths of this season is that it felt like the Featherington family healed. It
Love
felt
that.
like Penelope was able to heal. They healed. Eloise and her kind of like healed their friendship.
Yeah, and
You
I saw
know?
people were like, "Oh, so they're suddenly besties now," and I'm like, dude, if you've ever had a fight with your best friend and then shit hits the fan, sometimes you're just like, that was crazy. Anyway, we're best friends again. I need you right now. Like,
Well,
it's like,
push comes to shove. Now we got to bail your family out.
yeah,
you know,
yeah. Like, I've definitely
You gotta
like
try and save your
there's
family.
been situations where sometimes you're fighting with your bestie and then you just go, that was crazy. I'm over it. How about you?
Yeah. Well, I think that's what happened. I think Eloise kind of just like understood where she was coming from or
Right.
whatever. Because that was the problem. Eloise would never give her a chance to be like, hey, this is what's up. This is what's going on, you know?
Well, I think Eloise needed to go through because she says that to Cressida. She was like, I'm starting to begin to understand why somebody would do that because she was going kind of through something similar
Yeah.
or feeling that way. And, that's the thing about Eloise is that she doesn't know what it's like to be invisible,
She's a pretty Bridgerton. Not everyone can be a pretty Bridgerton.
to be a
I don't
wallflower.
know. Overall, I enjoyed the season.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I need to watch
I-
the whole thing again and be like, then I'd rank it. I think Queen Charlotte still is like
Queen Charlotte's
top tier for
obviously
me.
like the fucking best, but I did really like Bridgerton because I know Bridgerton's like very like a romance show, but I did enjoy, I don't know, maybe call me a fucking loser, but I really did like the sort of like we've had 3 seasons of these, well, they even closed up some things like with Violet and Lady Danbury when they finally were like,
the stuff they had in Queen Charlotte.
yeah, but I'm
and she's
like,
I
just that's a
know.
little thing. That's a little thing. But I'm like, so that's what I'm saying. It felt like an end of an era. They're closing the book on this like last couple of years
Mhm.
that these storylines have been progressing and we've been going through, and they're like all closed now.
Yeah.
So like I feel like that's interesting because now it's like, okay, we have to, because imagine if they didn't close all these stories and it progressed. I'm like, you're creating, it's too much now. It's too much. You
Yeah.
have to close the book on all those to make space for more stories and plots and characters. And I felt like they did that really well. Like I felt like they did it as well as they could. I do not understand though, and I still am like, please somebody from Netflix explain to me why Bridgerton is only 8 episodes. Like, for the love of Christ.
Yeah.
Can we get 10? Am I asking too much?
I mean, this shit was like the most watched season of Bridgerton ever. And, you know, Nicola and Luke were putting the fucking work in on that PR tour.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a good PR tour.
And it was that Chase Lounge, that daybed that they broke. Which for me is like, how did it break? Like, I feel like it wasn't.
They were when they were at motion of the ocean.
Yeah, but I feel like it's.
Broke the thing broke the lake.
I know,
leg.
but I feel like he didn't like. They weren't moving fast enough for that. Like,
Well, you're not going to
this
see
weak-ass
that because,
furniture.
dude, you're not going to see what they. Apparently, they got really into it in one of the takes. Like,
Why did they leave that in, dude?
they were plowing. Oh, that would have been great if they actually
just
like
breaking
plowing and then him breaking it. That's actually like kind of hot.
Honestly, like what frustrated me too was that this season is like they got together. There was like 2 spicy episodes, and then the rest of the time she was like, "Colin, what's up? Like, what's up?" You know? And I was like, "Come on, can we like resolve this?" I know it's like similar to Daphne and Simon, where they fought, and then there wasn't much in between, but there was still like this tension between them. And then with Colin, it just felt like he was mad and he wouldn't talk to her, and it pissed me off.
Yeah. I feel like Penelope's story though was really cool, and also the healing of the mother-daughter vibes. That
healing was nice.
that was actually really nice. I didn't expect to like be like on the Lady Featherington redemption arc barge. I actually would thought like it was like I thought it was like a an act from her. But then I could actually see it was like real.
Yeah, the actress is it's so funny when she's like being nice. Because it's just like
it's hard.
Like,
well, and I also love the way that she delivered it. Like I love her. Like I do.
She was great.
I love her. Like as Lady Featherington. Like
honestly,
so
the Featheringtons this season, like,
were great.
They were great. Like they kind of like in the first 2 seasons, you're kind of like, oh, we hate these people. But like, and then this season, I was just like, honestly,
well,
respect.
Then you start to understand where the sisters like they have to compete for their mother's affections. And when Penelope, who has been even told by their own mother, is nobody and worth nobody's attention, and then she's getting the most attention, it gives them a fucking complex. You know, it kind of goes into like that whole sort of, you know, it's the like complexities of sibling rivalry with like mother-daughter vibes. And I just really, you know, that's super relatable for like a lot of people. So I just felt like that was really cool. And it was really cool to see like them grow as a family, like the Featheringtons coming together, and you know, it was awesome. And I knew Penelope was gonna get that son, dude. I knew it. I knew it.
We called that shit.
And I love when the sister's like, she's maybe going to be a writer just like her aunt.
Yeah.
Not marry anybody. And I was like, oh, everybody's healing.
Well, if her aunt is rich, she won't have to.
Yeah, for real. Oh, and okay, well then that's, I guess maybe this will be our final thing that we talk about. So Lady Whistledown, how did you feel about 2 things then? How did you feel about her monologue to the Queen, making her plea on why she did Lady Whistledown or became Lady Whistledown? And then how do you feel now that Lady Whistledown is no longer Lady Whistledown? She is now has her own column as Penelope Featherington. Yeah. We'll start with the model of the speech.
I feel like the speech was nice. I feel that I guess her reasons for writing Whistledown make sense, that she felt voiceless and like powerless is why she began. I think it was smart of her to just like open it up to like everyone instead of like just facing judgment in front of the Queen alone. That was like hella nerve-wracking, but also like in a way she was almost like being like to the taunt, just be like, sorry, you know?
Yeah, she's making her
like that's her community who she was writing about.
And she did do some bad things.
And she
knew
that. Some bad things. She took ownership of it. I feel like people are gonna miss old Whistledown, like in a way. Because I think part of the fun of Whistledown was that like nobody knew who it was. So it's like kind of had to be on our best behavior. So I'm interested to see how it's all going to work if Lady Whistledown doesn't exist, so everyone knows it was Penelope. So I wonder if her column, what she writes about, will change, because it's hard to like report secrets if everyone knows who's watching them.
Well, yeah, and she made a promise to the Queen that her vow was that she was gonna like basically use it for good.
Yeah,
she was gonna use it for good. So I'm like interested in like how that's gonna be.
Or I wonder if Whistledown will even be like a big factor of the rest of Bridgerton now that she's
because it was a big
and then also like
mover
in terms of like history of Bridgerton. Once your season's over, you're kind of out of the plot. I know they've been like renewed for signed on for season 4, so they are coming back. But I wonder if like the Lady Whistledown in pen writing, if she's going to be like a major character, because in a way she was kind of like a major side character in Bridgerton,
right?
All the past
that's
seasons.
why I'm saying like it felt like an end of an era. So I feel like we're going into like a new era of Bridgerton, because so much it's like Lady Whistledown era. It's like the Lady Whistledown arc is done.
Yeah.
And now we're going into this like new arc. What that's going to be.
Yeah, so it's not going to be like part of the plot. It's probably just going to focus more on like the love stories and all that stuff, which is fine.
I don't know. I'm curious. We'll see what happens.
The one thing I like didn't actually super love that they're like moving away from. I wish they would kind of bring some of like the season 1 makeup and styling back, because this season I felt like it was like too much.
Yeah.
I felt like it's like, I understand like, oh, we're gonna do like their silhouettes, modern fabrics, but it was just like a little too much for me. Like with the glam too, like the makeup especially.
The makeup was crazy.
'Cause I feel like I'm losing like
the period.
Yeah, like I want
of it all.
I want the I'm here for the period drama
Right.
aspect of it too. So like I hope they kind of like, I don't know, it'll probably just get bigger and more flamboyant, which is fine, but
yeah.
I just feel like what
Especially
I love
for Benedict season.
I like when we watched season 1, like I like appreciated kind of like the simplicity and the beauty, like, do you know what I mean, of that?
Yeah.
Versus like this time I feel like they really leaned in on the avant-garde.
But I totally get what you mean. Like, I did love the simplicity of the first season.
I think it looked better, a little bit better.
Yeah, I think but for this, I don't know. I think
I don't mind like Kate's outfits being influenced by her culture. I loved her Kate's outfits.
Oh my god, her
I think she looked pretty good.
Kate's the one that she wears. Fuck, it's in the second part. The one, the sorry one with
Eloise, and she's planning the party.
The navy blue. Oh my lord.
She had beautiful costumes. Like, I don't mind that kind of stuff. It's just like, I think it was more so like the makeup. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm fine if they want to wear like gems and like crazy patterns, but
like dresses.
I think there's a beauty in simplicity. Do you know what I mean?
Totally agree. And that people talk about that with like the Pride and Prejudice movie from 2005.
Yeah.
There's a beauty in simplicity. Like, they didn't use makeup on that set. They used beats. They used like beats for the blush. They didn't use any makeup.
Like,
or
I'm fine if they want to put eyeshadow on, but they should not have liner. Like, do you know what I mean?
Or fake lashes.
Or fake lashes. It's just too much. They don't need it. Like, have you seen like when they actually Nicola Coughlan on like her own, like on the press tours, when she does like really light makeup, she's gorgeous. It's like almost like, it's like they don't even have caked up makeup on set. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Do you think it's something that they're going to continue to perpetuate and like go?
I think they probably will.
Because in a way, I feel like it's honestly Bridgerton's way of being like, you know what? We aren't trying to be period correct. We are trying to be this sort of like heightened version of that, because I do get that impression.
Yeah, but like for me, like I guess it like goes on to like Bridgerton as a whole. Like, the whole thing about Bridgerton, right, is that this is set in Regency times.
Right.
There's these rules that you have to follow, like with society.
Yeah.
And if we're ignoring all of the rules, then it takes away like that, like the whole like deal of this being set in Regency times. You know what I mean? Then we're just wearing costumes and we're doing whatever the hell we want, you know? And like, I feel like it's like if no one cares about the rules, it doesn't matter if they like meet up in a moonlit hallway. Like, there's nothing scandalous about it. Like, there's nothing like, ooh, they're in a room together by themselves. That's not how it's supposed to be done.
Part of me's like,
do you know what I mean?
It feels like more of like an aesthetic.
Yeah.
But then again, it's like, again, it's super nitpicky, but it's valid 100%. It really is. But again, like, I'm just like, for me, it's like Bridgerton, has never been period correct.
Well, I just think if like they deviate too much from it, I think they're gonna lose their audience for it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's. I'm interested, guys. Let us know. I'm curious to, what are you guys thinking about that? Because, for me, I just feel like for me it's kind of like an after. I didn't really like even consider that. For me, I was kind of like, ooh, I'm here for the looks, because I love like Cressida's red outfit when she comes in. I loved Penelope's looks, but it didn't. When you brought up the first season, I was like, oh, but I'm, Daphne's bangs, they were disgusting, but that was kind of the vibe back then. You know what I mean? The subtle makeup.
I want to know, are you like mirror scene or carriage scene? Which one did you like better?
I think I like. Okay, I think I like the carriage scene because it's kind of funny to me. Like it's just kind of funny and giddy. It makes me kick my feet. But I think the mirror scene. But I have a take on the mirror scene. I do think that they should have spent longer in front of the mirror.
I agree.
Because I felt like the thing with the mirror is like he was like, I want you to see this. And I was like, it would have been like so
They
intimate.
rushed that.
I think it would have been so intimate, hot, sexy,
And
romantic.
it would have been so beautiful if you would have been like,
if he was like,
and it's like
taking in her body.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I personally think that because that's so intimate. Like that's so intimate.
And so like romantic and like even like
being like,
before
I
they
love
did it-
all of you. And like, because that was her whole like complex. You know what I mean? And I felt like they really rushed from the mirror over to the chase. And I felt like they could have spent like a little bit longer. Like it would have been more beautiful and romantic and like intimate and still like hot and sexy.
Yeah.
But like, you know, that would have been like that would have gave everything, because then you go over to the chase and then you have that whole situation. So yeah, I like the mirror scene, but I do wish that part was longer. I think I do like the mirror scene though, because I do feel like it was like, I don't know. I have a feeling you're a carriage scene girly.
I like the carriage scene. I felt like that felt more like, I think this in front of the mirror, but then when they get to the chase, like I feel like for me when it comes to romance, it's more about the leading up to that,
Right.
to the intercourse, you know?
Right.
And then once it gets to that, it's like, okay, because here's my one like quip about just Bridgerton in general. It's like this whole like first time thing, and it's just always so awkward for me to watch. Do you know what I mean? It's like it'll hurt, but just for a moment. It's like I don't like it. Do you know what I mean? Which is why I wish they had more scenes together, because it's like it's only like this one scene of like the first time thing. Like, could they not have like had more scenes,
right,
of just them just like enjoying each other, or like something else other than like
they don't even have a wedding night.
Like, we could have waited for this shit.
Yeah,
I don't know. But I wish they had like another scene. Like there was like one last scene, like a clip.
I'm here for the spice.
Like, but it's just like I feel like always like compared to like, you know, season 2, we only got like literally one scene. Like it's a very mild season. But like season 1, there was like a lot of spicy scenes, and also it kind of like it was like different. Like
Queen Charlotte was spicy too.
Queen Charlotte was very spicy, and it was always just like, oh, it was gonna hurt for one moment. It's so cringe for me to listen to. I hate it. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just like, no, give me another scene to like think about something else about. Do you know what I mean? So it would have been nice if like they were in the mirror for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I like the carriage scene just because it was like the like kind of a like losing control thing, kind of scandalous, you know.
I just think about
they got lost in each other versus like this very like, this is like.
That's funny.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you. I think for me, it's like the idea of the mirror scene, of like what it could have been.
It's the idea. It's the idea. And then there's Pitbull in the background, you know.
That's Bridgerton season 3.
Those are our thoughts. I mean, overall, I enjoyed it. I think it's probably like, I think it's below Queen Charlotte for me. I think I think it's Queen Charlotte.
What's
Bridgerton
your
season 3?
Can I get your hierarchy? All of them.
I know people kind of hate. I don't know. I think I'm gonna get canceled for this, but I kind of like 1 and then 2. I liked 2 when I rewatched it, but like. I think I liked 1 more when I rewatched it.
I'm with you, dude. I am with you.
I know people are gonna come for me, but it's just like
people are upset because it's like I know that the shit between Simon and Daphne and the things that they do to each other is really fucked up. But like, I'm not a perfect person. I read dark romance. Okay,
it's not, you know. But I feel like outside of that,
it's pretty good. I don't know. A lot of people have a lot of people. Whenever I do look at like
feelings about it,
I have very strong feelings about Daphne. Not because of that one specific moment, but like other things that I'm just like.
Also, I feel like Bridgerton season 1 is kind of like sillier. Like the whole thing where she's just like, I don't know anything about sex. Like this is so crazy.
God, that is
it's just so silly.
That's really funny.
Like this is like the main plot point is whatever, and it's
that
just like
she's so naive.
Yeah, and I think just Kate and Anthony in season 2 just piss me off because like I love them in season 3, but during season 2, I was just like, you are making like the craziest decisions right now.
Wild,
like
decisions.
Actually, like
at the expense of people they really care
people
about
around you, and it's just like it was like it. But in way they're like, but we're doing it for like the best of everyone. But it's like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
I don't know who you're doing this for, but it's not for everyone else. I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it is in their minds, but then like when you like when you
and
realize
more about like inner work for a lot of people.
Yeah, and I think Penelope is one of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
I also love that, like, you know, at least when they first got together, it wasn't about them like hating each other. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
It was like, oh, they're friends and they love each other.
Yeah.
And then he finds out and then he's like, what the fuck? But it's, you know.
Yeah.
Get over it. Whatever. They realize they love each other deep down.
So Queen Charlotte.
I just think that one's just so beautiful, very cohesive.
Yeah, it's
all like the side stories are entertaining.
I think we might have the same hierarchy. So it's Queen Charlotte, season 3, season 1, and
then season 2.
We're getting canceled.
I know. As an enemies to lovers girly, like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's hard for me to put it at the bottom still. Like,
and I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying like
no, I think it's good.
But like, having watched season 1, I was like, I don't know. It has its issues for sure.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Season 2, but season 2 is good. All right, we gotta stop. I'm sorry. Don't cancel us. Don't get upset. It could change tomorrow. I promise.
It really could, because I feel like I could rewatch season 3 and have different like feelings about it.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
I need to rewatch it.
As of right now, that is my current hierarchy.
Mm-hmm.
I think for all of us, Queen Charlotte will always reign supreme because it was perfect in every way. All right, that's our thoughts on Bridgerton. I hope you had a little chuckle today, and I hope you guys share your Demon Trash moments. Any topics you have for the next episode, let's chat.
Mm-hmm. If you're still here, thank you for matching my freak.
Yeah, thanks for matching my freak, Trashlings. It means a lot to me.
It means a lot.
All right, that's it. Podcast is done, and I'm out of here.
Bye.
Bye.